Joining me also on the telecast is Dilip Cherian. He's the political commentator, founder, Perfect Relations. Dilip, thank you for joining me on the telecast. And of course, the same question to you, what I asked Padma Shri Dr. Sanjeev Bagai as well. What are the 5 big issues that you find problematic in Delhi?
I think that given that this is a national election and given that we are voting for our members in parliament, my vote goes for members of parliament who will make sure that there is a resurgence of growth, along with what Dr. Bagai talked about, the concomitant problems of growth, i.e. water supply, particulate matter in the air, etc. But let me break it up with what my asks are of my member of parliament. I want to make her or him responsible to make employment higher in this city. I can see that there is a growth in the number of people, anecdotally, who are out of jobs in whichever sector you're talking. So that is something that I want them to focus on and make sure that as members of parliament elected from Delhi, but from whichever party, they ensure that employment is triggered higher, ease of doing business. The capital, as Dr. Bagai mentioned, is in a sense, the display point for the country. Do we see ease of being able to do your business, or do we see that there is no change in the harassment that happens to anybody attempting to set up anything entrepreneurial in this city? The numbers of permissions and the numbers of inspectors and the numbers of those who think that they have the right to extract from you even before you become productive are far too high. That is my second thing. The third thing I would say is we need to make sure that just as we encourage Indians to set up business, India and Delhi especially, as a high-cost capital, must have global companies finding it attractive to make India and Delhi their home. That only will ensure that the kind of citizens of India in Delhi, who live in Delhi, get the kinds of opportunities that they are looking for. And the reverse also matters, that there should be equal opportunity for them to find easy access to go abroad if they want to chase their callings and their hopes and desires elsewhere. Okay. And the last thing I will end up with is the issue of pollution. I would like to have the members of Parliament of Delhi ensure that in the summer months, they start taking action with the cooperation of the surrounding states to ensure that we don't have a winter problem. Winter and monsoons are not the time to solve it. The time to solve it are the hot months of summer. We need to see them out there in the field, convincing farmers, working with other state governments and across party lines to make sure that the citizens of Delhi who have elected them have safer, saner lives. I'll stop here.
Dilip, then, a question that comes to mind when you talk about national politics and the kind of electoral narrative that has been set up, whether it is the BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress. I'm sorry to say, amongst all these 5-6 points that you have enumerated to me, there's hardly one that has been put as a manifesto, whether it is the BJP, Aam Aadmi Party, Congress. I have not seen in the manifesto that a political party is going to work for improving the air quality levels in the state if it were to come to power.
That's a very interesting point, which just goes to show how divorced politicians and the politics they pursue are from the needs of the person on the ground. They have to feel that pain, and they have to make sure that the process of making manifestos is not confined to electoral season, but that there is crowdsourcing of the pains, the opportunities, the threats that ordinary citizens who are not sitting in ivory towers feel on a daily basis over the next 5 years. then they should create a manifesto, not just in the last 10 days after elections are announced.
But my wonderment and question and appallment is that even if you're talking about electoral politics and you're making the manifestos, the important issues, the water scarcity, to talk about the pollution levels that become unbearable during the October-November months, it finds no mention. It's almost as if the public has forgotten about it. All you're going to right now discuss about is freebies, free electricity and free water and this and that to get maximum number of people to vote for you. That's the mileage that they at this point of time are wanting to get.
That is our problem as citizens. When we go to vote, we need to keep that in mind and ensure that our leaders hear the sound from our votes to make sure that the manifestos include what common citizens really want.